It all began when I was just 15. I hoped that it was something that would go away on its own if I just put up with it and ignore it the best I could. But it didn't. I find it difficult to talk about, but eventually I plucked up the courage to buy some medication at a pharmacy. Things got a little better, but only a bit. After a year of trying to hide it from everyone, I went to my doctor. Embarrassed, I sat in his office and told him what was going on. I handed him the pack of medication, explaining that it wasn't working. He glanced at it and handed it straight back. Almost immediately, he told me what I had. He wrote me a prescription, and within a few days, I started to get better. I couldn't believe it. Why did I wait an entire year through embarrassment and shame when it could have been dealt with in days? But at the time, I didn't really understand what it was, or that it was never really going to go away. I had no idea how much it would reshape my life and steal my childhood dreams. Hardly anyone knows what's wrong with me, and those that do, they don't fully understand what it's like. It's called
ulcerative colitis. Hey, what the fudge? I thought you said this was going to be anonymous.
But
So my secret's out. I'm John, and I have something called ulcerative colitis. I've lived with it and hidden it for most of my life. But now, thanks to that cleaner, everyone knows. Well, the 3 people that will watch this video now know. And one of those will be me. As a child, I was obsessed with the ocean. I once spent an entire day in it, emerging in the evening as a prune-like testament to my obsession. I started sailing in a small dinghy when I was 5 and dreamt of sailing solo non-stop around the world. It became my focus, my goal in life, the one thing I knew I had to achieve. I thought the best place to start was to join the Royal Navy. It seemed like the perfect way to learn the ropes, navigation, seamanship, and a life in my favourite place, the ocean. That was the plan. Age 16, I went to sign up, and there was one sentence on the front of the application. You cannot apply if you have ulcerative colitis. I was devastated. That moment was the beginning of the end of my sailing dream. My illness slowly took over, chipping away at my confidence, my plans, my life. My solo circumnavigation dream soon became nothing more than a distant memory. Everything started to revolve around hospitals, medication, knowing where the nearest toilet is. Ulcerative colitis didn't just sink my dream, it reshaped my entire life. It's a brutal illness, and it has landed me in some really tricky situations. As a result, it's held me back my whole life. It's like being in a constant state of fear, isolation, and exhaustion. Fear of what the illness will throw at me next. Isolating myself to avoid the awkward situations, the awkward questions, and the awkward smells. Exhaustion not just from the illness, but from everything that comes with it. The tests, the appointments, the colonoscopies. But why, after decades of secrecy, am I telling you all this now? Well, something happened a few months ago that made me rethink everything. I had an appointment with my gastroenterologist. I was sat in the waiting room when a young boy walked in, looking pale and terrified. He was probably 15 or 16, the same age I was when I was first diagnosed. He checked in and sat down opposite me, staring at the floor. I didn't know exactly why he was there, but I knew which doctor he was seeing, as this was her waiting room, and I know what she does. It was a bit like looking through time at me, aged 16. I thought, what if he's about to hear the same news I did all those years ago? News that would change his life forever, like it did mine. I wondered if I could help him, tell him he will get through this. It will be okay. I desperately wanted to say something, but I just sat there in silence. Like somebody watching their troubled past walk by and doing nothing to help. I was called to see the doctor. Same old story. It's not great, but I guess things could be worse. I left the hospital feeling guilty. Did I just miss a chance to make a difference? To offer a bit of hope to someone who is at the start of the same uncertain path that I'm on? That moment in the waiting room became a turning point. It lit a determination. I need to do more than just survive this illness. I need to use it. And that's why I'm here, why I'm telling you this. I've decided to chase the dream I gave up all those years ago. To sail solo, non-stop around the world. Not just for me, but for anyone who sat in a doctor's waiting room, terrified, thinking they're alone. But let's be honest, it's a massive challenge, even for the fittest, healthiest person. So for me, someone with a lifelong, incurable, invisible illness, someone who relies on regular hospital infusions, does it sound ridiculous? I've tried skipping infusions to travel before, but I ended up in A&E, followed by a few weeks in a hospital bed. Sailing around the world, alone, no doctors, no nurses, no hospitals, facing whatever the sea and sky choose to throw at me. Perhaps I should just give up now. But this was my life's dream. I can't just walk away from it. I have to do it. This illness isn't going to go away. It's not going to get better. But it could get worse. This is my last chance to take back control of my dream, the one that my illness has so far taken from me. I don't know if I'll succeed. I don't even know if I'll make it through the first week. But I do know it's now or never. It's time to find out who I'm going to be. The lifelong patient or the world sailor I always dreamed of becoming. But before I can set sail, there are some challenges I need to overcome. I hope you'll join me on this journey. Join me next time when I take the first steps to turn a long-lost dream into reality.